Yo, welcome to the Legacy Podcast. We got a great episode for you literally right now. We're going to be talking about part one of Just Get Going. Hey, stop making excuses. Let's get started on your project, your dream, your legacy right now. Welcome back to the weekly show that inspires you most. I'm your host for Legacy, Kinsley Jordan, your winning coach, inspiring you each and every week to crush your goals, ignite your dreams, and forge a legacy in your life that you can be proud of. And this week, it starts off with just three simple words: just get going. Now, I don't know about you, and just be honest with me. You can throw it in the comments below. How many of you have had an idea of something you wanted to accomplish? Maybe literally a vacation you want to go on. Maybe it's a job that you want to get qualified to be able to get hired into. Maybe you want to go back to school. Maybe you want to get a new car. You know, I don't know necessarily what it is that you want to do, but what I do know is that according to Harvard statistics in the recent release in their magazine, it says that 76% of people have a goal that they want to go after, but they never get started. How sad is that? We all have a goal of something we want to accomplish, but we don't accomplish it because we don't even try to begin? What? It didn't even make sense. I mean, honestly, if you have a goal of something you want to accomplish, the only failure you can have is not going after and not even trying. Because, you know, you've heard it say before, Michael Jordan even said it. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So you've got to get going and you've got to get started. So today's podcast is focused exactly on that. Just get going. The most important thing for you to realize is that if you don't give yourself a chance to succeed, if you don't at least start heading in the direction of what success looks like, you're never going to get there. I mean, honestly, you have to give it a shot. Now, how many times have you actually talked yourself out of either starting going back to school or starting working towards that dream career you have? Maybe how many times have you thought about starting the business and said, I don't have the money to do it. I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the expertise to do it. We got kids now and that vision and that dream has changed. But the only thing that has truly changed in your perspective, and most of the time, the only thing that ever changes that keeps you from going after that is the fact that you just don't get started. So today, in today's podcast of Your Legacy Podcast, building a legacy in your life, we're talking about just that. Just get started. You know, I have a friend, one of the people that I do performance coaching with. I'm their winning coach. It's the truth. That we were actually talking about one of the really painful parts of his life several years ago. There was a specific industry that he was really working really hard to get into. He spent a ton of his time developing, literally went to school to be able to get into this area of focus. And he'd worked a lot on building his portfolio to be able to share that in hopes that he would get hired. So there was this competition that came up that he actually wanted to basically show and share his portfolio in hopes that he would get hired into like an internship within this organization. So he worked incredibly hard. For multiple months, he poured everything he had into making sure that his portfolio was built, pouring every ounce of energy into what he had, making sure that he was aligned for success, and to be able to give it everything he had, only to find out that he didn't get accepted. It's crushing. And I know I'm not the only person that's had failure in my life or a moment where I thought for sure something was going to work out and it didn't. But the most important piece of that story is this. It's not the failure. It's not the fact that he didn't get accepted into the internship for that first time. The most important part of that story is that he started. If you don't start, you never have the chance of succeeding. Can you imagine if that same individual had never even tried because they were afraid of failure? So many times we don't even try working towards our goals. We don't even try reigniting our dreams that have withered out over time. We don't even try doing that stuff because we're afraid of failing. The first step in succeeding in all of this is that stop being afraid of failure. Failure is going to happen. In the innovation realm, I'm the chief of innovation for an organization in the military. One of our sayings is this: fail early and fail fast. It is so much better to at least be pointed in a direction and recognize the areas that you're not quite organized in, or recognize the areas that you don't necessarily have built up in strength yet. It's more important to be able to build those up. It's more important to recognize the areas where your failures are and recognize that early so you can fix them than it is to succeed at everything you do. The majority of the stuff in my life that I work towards, the majority of the projects that have succeeded were actually were built upon the rubble and the broken foundations, the broken and leftover bones of failure after failure after failure. And that's one of the things that I want to encourage you as your winning coach is this. Don't get wrapped around the axle when something doesn't go right. Don't allow your dream, your vision, your hope of what you want to do and where you want to go to be just blown into the wind simply because you have a moment of failure, just because you don't succeed the first time. Success is not defined by how quickly you're able to get to your definition of success. Success is determined and defined by how many times you're willing to continue on through the moments of failure. Listen, the greatest, most successful people ever have been plagued with failures. You've heard it before. Thomas Edison had failure after failure after failure. The Wright brothers had multiple models of their first flying machine that did never fly. Imagine if they had quit. We are no different. Just because something looks like it's going to be difficult and maybe we fail doesn't mean we stop. Instead, it means we pull ourselves together, we gather ourselves, we remind ourselves what it looks like to succeed, and we continue moving forward. The one piece out of all of this you've got to keep your mind is that success, when you think about what that means to you in your life, whether it's going back to school, whether it's going towards your dream job, whether it's setting a goal of losing weight, maybe you want to not just go back to school, but you want to start a new hobby. What success looks like is not, again, just defined by reaching it in a quick manner in a quick time frame. It's defined by your ability to continue seeking after it and what you're going to do to be able to get there. So today, we have 3 simple questions for you to answer, 3 simple steps that will help you guide yourself on your way to success and whatever your venture is, whatever your goal is, whatever it is that you want to do and accomplish. 3 simple steps will help you get started and get going, because nothing is more important than just taking that first step. You have to take that first step. So we're going to go to commercial break real quick. I want you to not only subscribe, make sure you subscribe, but also follow along. I'll meet you right back here as we get into the 3 simple steps to get you going towards your dreams, igniting your goals and your dreams, and making sure that you are living out what success looks like in your life. We'll catch you right back here on the Legacy Podcast. Hey, thanks for watching the Legacy Podcast with your winning coach, Kinsley Jordan. Now, don't forget, you can subscribe right now just by hitting the logo right over there, and make sure you hit the bell so you get notified when new great content is available to you. Also, you can follow and keep up with me at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube by just going to Kinsley Jordan. That's my tag where you can find it. Also, if you're looking for a performance coach like me to be able to help you reach your goals, just go to www.kinsleyjordan.com and sign up. I'm right here to help you achieve your goals and build a legacy in your life. So let's get back to the Legacy Podcast with more great content right here. Yo, welcome back to the Legacy Podcast. I'm your winning coach, Kinsley Jordan, here to help you not only crush your goals, ignite your dreams, but most importantly, forge a legacy in your life that you are proud to leave for your family, for your friends, for people to be able to look at and say, oh my gosh, I want to be just like them. I want to follow in their footsteps. Because what you don't realize is that you are success just waiting to happen. All you've got to do is just get going. And that's what we're talking about in today's podcast. Earlier, if you'd missed it earlier, we were talking about the ability of what's most important is just get going. Success isn't defined by how quickly you get to the pinnacle of what you think needs to happen. It's defined by your ability to continue moving forward, even when you have failures. Listen, we're going to have failures sometimes in life. Don't allow the failure, don't allow the setback to prevent you from continue moving forward. You've got to recage yourself, you've got to refocus yourself, and you have to continue moving towards success. Don't ever forget what that is. So, the 3 questions I always ask myself, no matter what project I'm taking on, no matter what goal I have in mind, no matter what dream it is that I'm igniting in my life, there's 3 questions I always ask myself. And this is your golden ticket. So get your notebook, take out your digital device so you can write it down, so you can type it down, because this is literally going to change the way you think about every single goal you have starting right now. So we're going to get you going right now on your goal. with question number 1 that I ask myself. The first question is so simple. It's just this. What does success look like? Yeah, that was literally it. That was the whole question. Yeah, I know. It was super simple. What does success look like? And you're probably like, why am I watching your podcast? Why am I calling you your winning coach? Yeah, I could have done that myself. But you didn't. This is why I think that question is so important. What does success look like? For this reason, if you can't define what target you're trying to hit, you're never going to hit it. If you can't tell me what success looks like in your end state goal, if you can't tell me what success looks like in the project that you want to start in your home, if you can't tell me what success to you looks like in your dream job, then you're never going to be able to get there. Not because you can't accomplish it, but because you don't even know where you're trying to go. That first question is so critically important because it gives you a framework to be able to work from. It allows you to look at a situation, to look at a goal, to look at somewhere you want to go and say, okay, I know what the target looks like. I know what it is I need to accomplish. And I'll use the example of cleaning out a garage because my garage right now, seriously, is just, well, it's overwhelming. It's literally overwhelming. I'll show you a picture, I promise. Yep, that was overwhelming. Yep, that's my garage. I'm literally walking through this right now, just like you are. So what does success look like to me in my example of the garage? Well, success looks like I would like to be able to sit down at my desk and do some live stream podcasts from my little office area that I created. As you can tell from the picture, there's no live podcast happening there. There's no reaching out to you. It's a mess. It's a nest of just trash and junk all over the place. And that's total transparency, just being honest. What success looks like to me when I look at that, the very first question I ask myself is this: what does success look like? To me, I want to be able to sit down at my desk. I want to have my papers organized and filed. I want to be able to look in my office area and have it be something I'm proud of, something that I'm ready to be able to show the rest of the world as I do my live podcasts and my live streams. But if it's not organized and it looks trashy, I'm not going to be happy to be able to sit in there and do my life's work of what I'm excited about. Also, when I look at my workbench area, the place that I keep my motorcycle and my tools in it, and you know the weed spray and the bug spray and all that stuff, it's total debauchery in there. It's all over the place. So what success looks like to me for that is this: it's organized. I know exactly where the weed killers are. I know exactly where the pesticide is. I know exactly where my tools are. I know where the extra light bulbs are. I know where the boxes are from my kids' stuff from high school and junior high. I know where all of that stuff is. So to me, what success looks like is I can look at my garage. It's the workspace, and my desk is nice and organized. My tool working area, my workshop area is nice and organized. And you know what else success looks like? I would actually probably like to paint it a different color. It's been maroon for a really long time. I want to change the feel of it. So that's what success looks like to me. For you, use your own example. What does success look like for you? Does it mean going back to school and getting your master's degree? Maybe it means getting a high school degree because we never finished it and life happened. Maybe it means you want to start your business and that you want to have a business where you have 150 clients in the first year. Great. That's what success looks like to you. You've passed the first step and we know exactly what we're looking at. So, question number 2 that we ask ourselves: what must be true in order for this success to happen? I'll freeze you right there. Ask it again. What must be true in order for success to happen? So what you're asking yourself by that is, what are the things that have to be in existence? What are the things that have to be accomplished in order to make sure that I'm able to live and see the success that I defined earlier in question number 1. So going back to the garage example. So if I say that I want my office, the papers to be put away, and I want the workspace to be organized and the toolbox and tool working space area to be nice and organized and put away, it's really important that I probably need to have some containers to be able to put stuff in, right? Right. So what must be true in order for my success to happen with my garage example is this: I need to probably get some organizing containers, some plastic containers to put all the odds and ends in. I probably need to get a shelving unit to be able to literally take the stuff from the garage and organize it on a shelf so I know where it goes and belongs. I probably also, and what must be true is I probably need to get some trash bags because I'm going to throw some stuff away. You know what I'm talking about? Like, get rid of the old stuff, bring in the new stuff, which would be organization in this case. If you're anything like me, yeah, I could use some help. And thank goodness we had the Queen of Clarity on a couple weeks ago to be able to help us. So If you are like me and you need something like that, question number 2 to be able to help you, what must be true in order for success to happen? What you're doing is building that list. So write that actually out. Write down what success looks like I gave in the garage example. And step number 2, write down what has to be true in order to achieve success. In order for me to be organized in the garage, I gotta be able to organize my stuff into piles and into places and on shelves. So what must be true? I've got to do that, and I've got to get that done. The last question is this, down to question number 1. What are my first 3 steps in accomplishing these things that must be done? What are my first 3 steps? Most of the time, people don't get started because they don't know where to start. If you will outline the first 3 steps that you need to take to be able to start moving towards success in your life, whatever it is, whether it's a small project of cleaning up the house or whether it's a bigger project of going back to school and getting into your favorite career or degree or job, it doesn't matter. You have to start somewhere. And oftentimes that's one of the things people miss so much. They're afraid to line out what are the first 3 steps. And this is why the first 3 steps are so important, is because if you take the first step and you get confused, you'll quit. I'm not saying that. That's biological. That's biological, how our brain works, how the neuroscience of our brain, how our thoughts are wired, how the thoughts not only link to long-term memory and long-term history, but also how we form habits. If we take 1 step and we fail, then we'll quit. If we take 2 steps and fail, guess what? Yeah, we'll quit. But if we take the first 3 steps, statistically speaking, how your brain works, you'll actually try to ask, what is the question for the 4th step that I need? What is the 4th step I need to take? What is the 4th thing I need to do in order to succeed? So with us today, make sure you do those 3 things. Ask those 3 questions. First, what does success look like? Second, what must be true in order for success to happen? And the 3rd thing is this: what are my first 3 steps to accomplishing this task, this project, this program, this goal, this dream? Whatever it is, take those first 3 steps. I promise you, if you will just start taking these little steps to just get going, it is going to help you in the greatest way you could ever imagine. So you've already had it listed out there. We've already got it on the screen for you. You've seen the process that I'm working through with cleaning up my garage. I'll give you an update here coming up soon. But listen, just get going right now, literally today. Start off with those 3 questions. Outline what your success looks like. Make sure you're able to define what must be accomplished for success to happen, and figure out what your first 3 steps in achieving those things are, and you're going to be on your way to success. Hey, thanks so much for watching the Legacy Podcast right here with your winning coach, Kinsley Jordan. Make sure you subscribe right ding ding over there, and we will keep this great content coming to you to help you achieve your dreams each and every day. We'll check you out next time. See ya.